Hence, my content is sponsored by Nova.
Yes.
You know what? I'm really happy to be. It's my logo.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it.
Thank you. It's the Egyptian hieroglyph for prosperity.
Is it?
It is.
Nice. There's a meaning to it.
Yeah, always a meaning. Always a meaning, just like you've got a meaning in the sport.
I appreciate that.
And welcome, Shane Mcguigan, my favourite trainer, actually. I spoke about you.
Is that on record?
Yeah, well, it is now because I don't edit my videos and it's recorded.
I
so
like it.
Yeah, you've done really well with
Thanks.
your stable.
Yeah.
You're not a trainer that is all in the videos and dancing and saying how great you are.
No.
But we see the work through the fighters.
Yeah.
Caroline Dubois once again puts on a fantastic performance. Unfortunately, technical draw.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Yeah, it's the only annoying thing for us. Punch perfect performance. She's right-handed, so she's a right-handed southpaw. So when she's in there, she always looks for her lead hook.
Okay.
And she can also get loads of power from her looping backhand hook. But she never throws the straight backhand on the pipe. And I feel it on the pass. I'm like, there's loads of power there. You've got to deliver it. Just deliver it, let it go, deliver it with force. And within the first minute, she sort of set it up, broke the guard with the backhand. I was like, exactly, that's what we want. We know that Kamara's good at blocking the hooks. So the thing was to just keep touching the hands out wide so she blocks wide and then just drop it down the pipe. So I was doing that probably. Yeah. You probably didn't hear me. But yeah, just drop it down the pipe. And that obviously was a telling shot. But within the first 2 minutes, her eye was out like this. And I was annoyed because the fight was stopped because she couldn't see. She couldn't see out of her right eye, which was caused by a punch.
Yep.
But then the cut was caused by a headbutt and it was off the eye. Normally, if it's above the eye, it runs into the eye.
Yep.
Then that's why it would be stopped before four rounds. Then it goes to a technical draw. But unfortunately, ref Kieran McCann stopped it and gave the same ruling, which we were frustrated about.
Interesting, because one of the guys noticed it. One of the other, I think it was IFL, Andy McCart was saying, why didn't they apply the usual stuff that they put on for the cuts and stuff?
Yeah.
Were they trying?
Why didn't they do this? Can you still see? Jeremy,
well,
it was
common sense, you mean?
Yeah, I
common sense approach.
I was trying to see the rules to see if they covered the swollen eye. So can you see? Because in the moment when the adrenaline's going, you're going to see, I can see out of this one.
Fair enough.
And then that would have allowed us to get the verdict that she couldn't see out of the right eye. But anyway, it's a split moment. This is the only sport, right, that you can't go to another ruling and go to you got Hawkeye and tennis and all of that. In football and rugby and stuff, you go to the other cameras. But this is the only sport that you don't have that, and that's it makes it pure. Yeah. Which is great. Yeah. And then it allows for opinions and rematches and things like that. It's just frustrating that we're getting that on such a one-sided beatdown like that. It's just frustrating.
One-sided beatdown, but I think the thing is as well, because of obviously the win, she was elevated. She was given the WBC, elevated. At least she's gone in there and proved that she's worthy of keeping it. Oh. Do you know what I mean? It's sometimes, it's like the email, you've been given it, you haven't earned it. But we know what she's capable of, don't we, Shane?
For sure. She is here to stay. She ain't a flash in the pan. She's the real deal.
The real deal.
She's got the star quality. She's got the smile. She's got the looks. She's got the ability, the power, the speed, the head movement. She's got it all. We just haven't seen that yet. And I believe that you can see in a fraction, but from what I'm seeing all the time in the gym, she's not even showcased half of it, because it only comes out when she's in against better opposition. I think that's what we want. We want the best competition. You've got Terry Harper, with all due respect, is not on the level. That would happen exactly the same as that. It'll be 2 rounds. Genuinely, I think it would be so early because of her power. Once she lands a shot
and aggression.
Yeah, I can see it. Do you know what I mean? Like, Terry can punch a bit more, and she's going to have a little bit more belief. But with a little bit more belief, it means you throw a bit more shots and you leave yourself more exposed. And when you've got someone as sharp and as calculated as that, a sniper with a bazooka, not just a normal, there's a proper bazooka that's sitting up there just waiting to take you out. She's a scary proposition for all of these fighters.
A name that's come up is Alicia Baumgardner, and I think it's credit to Boxing News. I think they did a piece with Caroline this week, and they mentioned.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that fight.
Well, at the end of the day, you got to look into it and think like, what's going to build her brand?
Yes.
Is it going to build her brand to be undisputed? Yes, of course. But that's going to take time.
Okay.
Right. Or you look for a big name and you look for a big win. And she wants to box them all. Like I'm talking about from like 130 the whole way up to 160. Like the whole way up to 160. She wants to box them all in time. But on her radar is the biggest names in and around her weight division, and that is Alicia.
What's it like?
Because of the wins, because she holds herself. She's got a great aura. She's very marketable. And that is a massive fight. Is it going to be able to get made in March the 9th, which is what we're going to hopefully go out next?
Is that a targeting date?
Most likely not. Budget-wise, I doubt it, but that would add huge value to that card.
Yeah, it definitely would.
Huge value to that
Yeah,
card.
well, like you said, it's an all-women's event. Event again. So it adds that spice back to it as well.
Yeah.
Champion, former champion. Yeah, it's a fight I'd like to see. But one thing I wanted to ask is, how do you contain... Caroline's like a bottle of pop. It's all the fizz is inside. You shake it up and it wants to go everywhere. That's how I see her. How do you contain that? Like you said, undisputed over time. She wants them all from 135 to 160. How do you contain her?
I think it's just for Caroline. It's about everything that boxing brings. World titles, yes, money, but stardom, fame. She loves it. You got some of these fighters that want to box and they want to be a hermit and they want to hide away. She wants to go to the occasion. She wants to showcase herself. She wants to be a great standout for female boxing and a female athlete. So it's exactly what she wants to showcase in herself, and that is not everyone wants to do that. That's why you have to get behind girls like that want to be stars.
And building that, because remember, you've had her from scratch. She's like your baby. This is what I'm saying. When we talk about trainers can get given established fighters. It's about building them. We know that you've got a stable that does that. But Caroline is special, right?
She is special. I think all my fighters are special.
Oh, no, sorry.
Because I love them all.
Oh, my God, I'm sorry. I'm trying to put you on the spot saying a favourite one. No, we don't want to do that.
I'm not
He loves all his children, everybody.
Yeah. I do love my children as well. So I've got 2 at home and 5 in the gym.
Yeah.
So, no.
Who are the worst behaved? I bet it's the ones in the gym, right?
Nah. I don't know. They're all well behaved. I think I don't tolerate. Probably my own kids are the worst behaved. Is that 2.5-year-old? But no, in the gym, no one. They all train really hard. And like it's just sometimes they need different ways to approach them. Do you know what I mean? Like some must gonna bring the stick out, others you're gonna stroke. You know what I mean? Because they might be naturally harder on themselves.
Okay.
And you've got to like encourage them. And then others feel like they're there, and then you got to say, you're not there, you're still off the mark.
Psychological.
You got to, that's what we are.
How do you deal with all those different personalities? Because it isn't kids, it's adults. So you've got all the different emotions. You might have a fighter that wins, gets a lot of belts, and then the week after you're out with a fighter that may lose. How do you deal with all of that? You know what I mean.
Come on now.
You know what I mean.
We're winners. We like to win.
You know
we put a lot of emphasis on winning.
I know. But dealing with those different emotions.
No, I'm only joking. Of course, you're going to have to take wins and losses. It's a challenge, but that's what I love about it. You know, it's like no one's cut from the same cloth. No one's equal, and you've got to. It's much more of a psychological challenge for myself to think like, how am I going to get through to this person? You know, like where's the cues there, and then make them aware of the cues, because a lot of times I don't know what motivates me. I just get up and train, and you're like, okay. You want to be a world champion? I want to be a world champion. Okay, picture yourself. You're Tuesday. You box on Saturday. You're elated on Sunday. Monday, you're starting to come down. Everyone's gone back to work on Tuesday. You're sitting by yourself on Tuesday. How are you going to feel when you got a world title? Is that going to change your life? Is it?
Interesting.
A lot of the time it doesn't. So what's the greater meaning? The purpose is the journey.
Purpose is the journey.
That's it.
It's the hunt.
Get in it. Yeah. And when they achieve it, you better make another goal quick, or else for then on,
I like
it's
that.
a emotional down.
I like that, and that's even with winning.
Yeah, that's the most important thing. Losses you can take. It almost it's different because you can sit there and you can process it. And of course, every fighter has an ego, but the difference is like that's the only thing that's wounded. Then they got to look into themselves, and they got lots of things to focus on. If they're driven, they've got lots of things to focus on. They go, okay, I did this wrong. I want to do this. I need to get better here. that's where it can occupy their brain, which is a good thing. So the worst thing is when they win and they don't get the elation that they believe that they would, you know? And then it's like, oh, well, I thought I would feel different.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I know it's probably like, don't do drugs, guys, but I can understand it's like it's an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
Chris Billam-Smith.
But that's why the team is so important around you. Because if the team just goes, oh, cool, Saturday, boom, come in 3 weeks' time, you're left in your own thoughts for 3 weeks. Yeah, when you're local to a gym, like you pop in, we got group chats, we always involve people.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's like
Family.
Yeah, you've got to make it a family. This is not just it's not a work job. Like, if someone turns up to you to work for you and they're not passionate, they just turn up to just hit the camera recorder, and they're not doing their research, nothing.
That's why I work alone.
Are you gonna feed off that? No, you're not gonna feed off it. You're gonna feed off someone that's as passionate as you, bringing new energy. So that's what you want. That's why we've got to create this team environment, and that's the most important thing.
Your fighters, CBS. Adam Azim's out next. Craig Richards. God, she's at the awards. Ellie Scotney. Talk to us what's happening with them. What can we...
Ellie is boxing on January 25th against an unbeaten opponent who's the IBF mandatory. Nottingham on the undercard, Dalton Smith. Against a tricky, hard opponent. This Miyamoto from New Zealand. I think she's based in Australia, but she's from New Zealand.
Okay.
She is a game aggressive opponent, but I was saying in a previous interview, it frustrates me sometimes watching Ellie, because what I see in the gym, because we spar really good opposition, she just raises the bar.
Yep.
And sometimes she's taken her eye off the ball just with the lack of opponent, and I think she's got into patterns, and in this fight she can't get into patterns, so she knows that to win the fight and win it well, she has to be on point. And this is, I guarantee you, it's the best Ellie Scotney on January 25th. I guarantee it. It's a stunning victory. I can see it from what I'm seeing in the gym. I can see it, and I know this style. And it's going to have to be switched on the whole way through. And she's going to get tagged a little bit. You're going to walk away from that fight and be like, that is impressive. Because I see it all the time in the gym. Honestly, when she spars bigger girls that really come to have a go, it's awesome to watch. She's so good on the inside. Her combinations are great. Sometimes she's just going chasing you for a singles and just looks for a big eye-catching shot, but this is going to be different when the girl wants to win. And
that's what I like about you. You work to the fighter's style, not to your own style. Yeah, and you're not trying to force the fighters.
We don't have a system, because the most important thing is just not one feint doesn't work for everybody. One low-handed, snappy jab's not going to work for everybody. You know what I mean? So everyone has a different way of seeing things and shots, and they have different spaces that they feel comfortable and reactive in, and then you just got to find a way to get them into that space. And sometimes they find that they're not as good there, and then they've got to change it up. But you want to make them as complete as possible, but they're always at the top end. They're going to find that space in distance that they are going to be as effective, and then it's down to us to maintain that space. And don't change it up, don't do the same things all the time. But I'm not going to say, okay, what I want you to do is come in here, stamp your foot, walk off, do this, close up, do it's everyone's different. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's different, and that shit only works at most of the time at heavyweight, and then a lot of time you'll find where guys can negate that and just imagine doing that shit with Virgil Ortiz in front of you, or Boruchuk. It ain't gonna work. A heavyweight Boruchuk or a lightweight bloody Bam, you're gonna have to come up with different things. And I think if you're so set in your ways and one specific thing that works, or it's not always, you've got to let them have that flow state, that flair. You can do a few cues to work off it, and maybe put your hand out to break them up when someone's attacking you, but it has to be instinctive.
I like that. Thinking fighters. What's happening with Craig? Because Craig is one of these that's a really good fighter, but he just seems to be in a... It's not in a naughty cupboard. It's not a naughty cupboard, but you know what I mean.
A sticky position, because no domestic guy wants him, in terms of they're looking at okay, it's a loss, but then he's He's a hard puncher. He's got a good engine.
Yeah.
Got a fantastic chin. Going to drag you into deep waters. World-class people are going to look at it and say, like, yeah, so I've got easy defenses. Masterneck was like, Masterneck was like that for Chris. It was like, no one really picks that guy for a mandatory.
Correct.
Do you know what I mean? And he's there or thereabouts, and he's a fucking hard night's work for everybody. And like, it's just opportunity. So Eddie has to come up with something. That's our most important.
Okay.
We've got to get him to come up with something. And I understand his troubles with it as well. I understand where, it's not easy getting fights for Craig because of his ability and his power. And also, he's had a few losses, so they're like, yeah, but what's that going to get me? But what it does is it's you look into the TV and you say DAZN or you say TNT or Sky or whatever he's going to be an exciting fight. That's where the value is. The values in the TV are going to get a great fight.
Yeah, because he's a pure boxer.
Yeah, he'll fight anyway, and he'll. Yeah, he's a solid fighter. He's a proper solid fighter. So it's just opportunity.
I have got so many eyes. We've got so many eyes on us. I feel like I'm at the head of a school teaching. I know it's time to
I've got
go.
somebody waiting on a
Yeah.
bit. So
Okay.
yeah.
Lovely.
Got one more?
Listen, no.
Yeah.
We'll do something online.
Okay. Yes.
Answer your DMs when
right,
you
no
go
worries.
on your 10-mile runs. But yeah, thank you so much.
London Marathon.
London
April
Marathon,
27th.
all right.
That's what I'm training for. I've got the first week of 16 weeks of the
Wow.
training camp. So yeah, you're going to see me gradually become more and more emaciated. But yeah,
You
I
love it.
man. I love it.
Exactly.
I love it.
Until the
36.
next
I'm
time
trying
then.
to new
36.
new lease of life. It is for
Fair
me.
play to you.
Yeah.
Baby number 3 on the way. This
Not yet.
event, this video is sponsored by Nova Sports. Thank you very much for listening. Like, subscribe, all the good stuff. And follow Shane Mcguigan, follow his fighters. He's
My fighters.
yeah.
Do it. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we've got to support you.
Thank you very much.
Until the next time.
All right.
Au revoir.
Cheers. Thank you.
People say I'm toxic, and honestly, I don't care.